All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back for our fifth matchup of the night. We're hitting the late night hours here on Friday night with a special edition of Nemesis action here for the playoffs. I'm Rockerman back in the booth. I am excited for this one because, man, we're heading to Prospect League, and Prospect League, it has been spicy this season. And I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Mallow. Mallow, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much, Rocker Man. Oh, it is very spicy indeed, and I have never seen a more spicy season in the entire seasons that we've ever been in. G- I'm speechless because it's
Mhm.
it's it's ridiculous right now.
Yeah. No,
The tiredness, it's been ridiculous, and I can't wait to see where we go from here.
yeah, no, it has been a crazy season thus far, and in the Prospect League, we have had some crazy outcomes here. Let's take a quick look before we get into this matchup. Let's take a quick look at the bracket as things stand here. We saw, the play-in tournament. Things kind of went as expected, except for that play-in match number three, where Faded they went in a battle with Hypernova, able to move on, but then quickly they got taken out by Origin and that quick sweep there, and then obviously another thriller down there in the other quarterfinal with Banshees coming back from a 3-1 lead. So now the Prospect League has given us some spice thus far, and we're heading to the other side for Minotaurs versus Wyverns.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at Origin so far, and of course, you go with the rocker band buff as you go with the Prospect League, but the Minotaurs and the Wyverns, they've been especially spicily, and it's I can't go one way or the other right now because it's been so close the entire season with them, and I can't wait to see where we go from there. What do you think?
I'm not too sure. The Wyverns, they've had, Gallium kind of mentioned it earlier. They're the 7th seed here, but they kind of had some issues mid-season with some suspensions, some bans, so their roster got shaken up. But the Minotaurs, they have been near the top of the Prospect League all season long. So really, I'm not too sure which way this thing is gonna fly. I would lean towards the Minotaurs here just with their experience. But the Wyverns, they could definitely come out and surprise some people here, and we're gonna have to see if they can do just that as we are getting things underway in the Prospect League playoffs here. Game number one getting underway here, and we got a spicy one here. We got a lot of great players here on the Minotaurs end. We got Aiden, Penguiner 1, and Smoke. And then on the Wyverns end, you got Chicken Choker, aka Rilo, Jonesy, and O Caliber there. So a lot of people that we recognize here, Mallow, and a couple people that have really made their name this season in the Prospect League.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at both teams right here, and both of them have been very good looking at the season and overall. And you can't fault for either of them being a very big uh sorry, I'm just watching them here to make sure that they don't, you know, surprise us with the goal here. But you can't look at it and say that both of these both of these teams are gonna surprise us here because they have done that towards the end here as they have.
Yeah, there have been a lot of surprises. Both these teams have had different. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, is that what a shot on net? They've had different seasons to get to this point, and Minotaurs, they have maybe surprised some people being the team that they are in that 2 seed, but they are here to play tonight and looking to prove why they are the 2 seed, looking to move on in that bracket and take on the winner of Warhawks versus Velocity, as this one can be sent out. And then the Wyverns trying to rebound from earlier in the season, and we'll see if they can prove that, hey, we may have had some roster issues, but we're here now to play. And really, at the end of the day, all that matters is a little passing play attempt here is going to be sauced up by Penguiner, but going to be cleared away by the Wyverns as this one's in the zone. Penguiner going to take things down. Chicken Gonna set this one up high. Jonesy
Oh,
looking to make a touch, trying to send it down. This one off the
oh
backboard,
my.
looking for the read
Hold
here.
up.
This one a little bit dangerous in front of the net, but the
Oh,
Wyverns can't quite put it through. That was a good opportunity, but not quite gonna go. And the other thing for in this one, Mallow, is the Wyverns. They got some experience in that play-in tournament, but the Minotaurs are kind of coming in a little cold as that 2 seed.
yeah, they really are, and you go both ways here, and both of them have been, you know, uh, it's hard to say who has the upper hand here, and this is where you're starting to see it here is that, um, Chicken Choker. I hate to say the name there, but Chicken Choker with Rilo and the Wyverns are starting to have that upper hand just a little bit, and we'll see what they do here going on.
I mean, so far, so even at the moment as we're at 0-0 ball game here. Both these teams looking for their first goal in the playoffs. This one back in the zone of the Wyverns. Aiden is up, looking to try to get this one. Throws it off the backboard. Penguin are going to dive in, a little bit dangerous. This could be a counterattack opportunity. Rilo's going to send it down. It's just off the post. Aiden can't connect, but the save comes through to clear it off to the corner. And good play by the Wyverns there. But Minotaur is just a little bit stronger on the defensive end. Is now Aiden looking to take that read. Now actually looking for the bump, but not quite going to find it.
Oh,
Penguin are going to be the last one in net. As Rilo couldn't quite get that one down. As this one sent up, here comes Jonesy looking to make something happen. That one floating towards net. Here comes Rilo for the shot. He puts it in, and Wyverns are going to strike first.
Oh, Chicken Sugar 45 Rilo. He gets it in there. The pass goes right in front of the goal, and he knocks it in, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, that one, a huge one right there to start off for the Wyverns. They are the underdogs, and when you are the underdogs here, you want to start out with that first goal here and kind of assert yourself, against this 2 seed who, we've talked about it, not being in that play-in tournament. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a debuff. Obviously, you get right into the playoffs, but you get 2 weeks off here. This one shot towards net, and it's gonna find its way through yet again. 2-0 now, Wyverns.
Oh man, that pass play was fantastic to watch from my end. Oh my goodness, they just set that up and just tossed that in right there, and it was a beautiful, beautiful pass into a goal.
Yeah, that was pretty clean there from the Wyverns. They make it work, and they found themselves up 2-0 here in this game 1. As now the Minotaurs gonna have to look to regain, kind of getting punched in the mouth a little bit here early on. As Caliber with a shot towards net, but it's gonna be saved away. Penguiner able to get a touch off to the side. Is Smoke trying to get it out. Penguiner gonna send it down, and with 30 seconds remaining, the Wyverns hold on to this 2-0 lead, and Minotaurs have yet to find their way through, but they're trying right here. Is this one gonna be sent towards the net? But Rilo gonna take control. This one sent high out the backboard. Net is open. Can we see a follow? Smoke trying to dive in, but Jonesy all over the top of it there as a couple whiffs come out. Final seconds ticking away. They got to score with at least 1 second on the clock. This ball is up. Gonna be sent to the side, and that one sent away, and Wyverns are gonna come through here and take this game number 1. They're gonna try to look for one more for the road, perhaps. As this one sent down, but I mean, a solid performance, all things considered here from them. Is they're trying to get one more, but denied away here. And as they keep the ball up, both these teams trying to look for some momentum in the next game. And it's going to be Rilo with the shot, keeping it up in 0 seconds to find the goal. And a 3-0 win here in game 1.
Oh man, the Wyverns, they're trying to keep the momentum going. Of course, the Minotaurs just they weren't able to avoid that goal there. And if you're the Minotaurs, you're a Minotaurs fan. There's very much a lot going on here, and the Minotaurs are pretty much looking good. or sorry, the Wyverns are
Wyverns are
looking
looking good.
good.
I was gonna say the Minotaurs. I don't know how good they're looking considering they only had one shot in that game. Only one. They got outshot 13-1 in that game. And I mean, Mallow, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win many games when you're only taking one shot on net. I don't know if you'll win any games taking one shot on net.
No, I think the amount of games that you take on there is going to be very minimal. And you know, I was the problem with that was I was so surprised that was going on with that I got shocked and I didn't know how to react. So so I got taken aback to that.
Yeah.
But it's there, and so now we're gonna see what game two is gonna bring us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen in game two. The Minotaurs, this 2 seed here, had a great regular season leading up into this one. One of the best teams in Prospect League. In fact, they were the 1 seed for a lot of the season there. Only passed out by Origin at the very end, but still a very respectable 13-5 record. So we know that they can perform with the best of them here, but kind of getting punched in the mouth here by this Wyverns team who, they fell into the play-in tournament at 10-8, but that is a scary 10-8 team. And we saw that in game number 1 here. And we're going to see if it continues in game 2 or if the Wyverns, the Minotaurs can get on the board. And not quite going to happen there. So they're going to send this one down towards the Wyvern zone. Jonesy going to get a touch. This one going to be popped towards net. It could be on, and it is the placement. Just enough from Smoke to put it home.
Oh my goodness, what a play by the Minotaurs, and get that right into the goal there by Smoke. Fantastic, and this is what we want to see going into game 2.
Yeah, definitely. And, when you get shut out in game number 1, 3-0, you got to be able to bounce back. And especially if you're a 2 seed like this, you got to know how to answer his Smoke. Had an opportunity, but a little bit of a feels backflip moment there. But he can't quite put it on, and Chicken gonna send it off to the side. Smoke looking to take things up, gonna find one touch, but Caliber able to send it back in the zone. Penguiner on the dribble here. This one's gonna pop up high. Rilo trying to drop it down. It's just off the post there. A great shot attempt, but just a little bit wide. Caught the Minotaurs a little flat-footed there for a second. As now this one's sent back here. And gonna be banged away. Rilo gonna pop this one up now. This ball gonna be sent towards the net here. Wyvern's trying to attack, but not quite meant to be. And Mallow, we're about a minute and a half through in this game here, and Minotaurs holding on to this 1-goal lead for the moment.
Yeah. They're hanging in, and we're seeing some good, defensive measures on both ends here. Oh my goodness, as Chicken Choker, Rilo goes in for the goal right there.
Yeah, that's a great redirect there. The Minotaurs just a step too slow to meet that ball in front of the net, and Wyvern's gonna make them pay every time, and that's a huge goal for them to get back in this one and try to keep their momentum going from game number 1. Is Jonesy off the backboard? Can he find this read? He paxes it off the backboard. Here comes Rilo again, looking for the shot, but it's a little bit high. Follow up again, but Jonesy kind of clears it away from his teammate a little bit. Could lead to a counterattack for the Minotaurs. The Wyverns aren't careful as Smoke sending it down. Here goes Penguiner high off the backboard looking for a demo. He's hunting, but Caliber, they're going to get it by. And now it's up to Smoke on the defensive end. What does he have in the tank? Trying to avoid the bump from Caliber. Almost a huge play there, but not quite going to go. As here comes Smoke. Going to send this one up high. Penguiner trying to get to it, but Jonesy going to be a little bit quicker this time. As Aiden can't quite connect. Bump attempted. It's wide open.
What a bump.
Caliber puts it in, but it's all from the bump.
Goodness, what a bump there. Caliber just had an easy goal right there with the bump by Jonesy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one, just a huge play. You gotta love the bump plays there from the Wyverns. Is they find that one and they're able to get a goal because of it there. And that is another big answer from them. Now, after dropping down 1-0 in this one, they battle back 2 straight goals here. Now they're in the Wyvern zone, or in the Minotaur zone, looking for a third one. That one can be cleared out momentarily, but not so fast as it's sent to the corner now. This ball Gonna be
Oh,
popped up high. Could be dangerous. Here comes Jonesy.
hold up,
He's
hold
trying to.
up.
He's dropping it down, but Penguiner,
Oh,
he's all over that one. He's able to get it away for the moment. That one blocked out in the midfield. Gonna be hanging out up high here, Penguiner. Gonna try to drop it down for smoke. Gonna work out for a moment, but a quick dive from Rilo. Gonna send that one back in the net here. It's a little bit dangerous on the back wall, but gonna be cleared away there. This ball now dropped to the corner. Caliber out of the midfield. Jonesy looking for the shot, but denied away on that one. As the Wyverns here, Mellow, a minute 30, and again, they got the one goal, but it just seems like the offense, it's just not there for whatever reason.
yeah, it really isn't, and you can kind of see that the defense is actually hanging in on the other side, and it's looking really good, but the offense is just not there, and I think we got to see it here within the next, what is it, 30. Oh my goodness, what a demo there. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. 30 to 60 seconds here, and that's where we got to go.
Yeah, definitely going to need to see something. This is reminding me of an earlier matchup that I casted with Uprising, where they had the best defense, but they just didn't have any offense to go for it. And the Minotaurs, they have been able to lock down the defense for the most part, but just really haven't got their offense going. Only one shot in the last game and only one quick goal in this game number 2. Now with 30 seconds remaining, gonna need something. This one sent towards their net. Aiden gonna have to make a miracle play here. If we get it off to the corner, but now he's getting harassed here. Wyvern's trying to push it through. Final second of this one. Minotaur is looking to avoid going down 0-2. Aiden try to get to that one. It's not quite going to go. A demo comes through and the time ticking away. The Minotaurs have to make something happen. A huge pop. Going to get it by 1. Trying to find someone in the midfield. Looking for this pass. It's dropped in the midfield. Caliber right out to smoke. Smoke for the shot, but it's not going to go there. And the Wyverns just going to try to kill this one. Looking for the bump. Trying to drop it down. They do. And it's a 2-0 lead here for the Wyverns. The 7 seed may be looking for this upset here, Mallow, with a great start to this series.
Yeah, that was a good start there, and looking at that, you would have thought that maybe that they would have had a chance and getting something started there, after not able to get that start, and here we are going into the later part of the series. Ooh, my goodness, I can't. I'm speechless because it's just so close. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, no, it has been close, but for me, I feel like the Wyvern just again so much pressure, 10-4 in the shot department. This is where I would have called a timeout almost 100% here if I'm the Wyverns. The Minotaurs, excuse me. The 2 seed here dropping down, and you had 5 shots in 2 games, and 4 of them were coming in this game. You didn't really make too much of an improvement there, and for me, I think that's where you got to try to stop the momentum, but maybe relying on the fact that they're the 2 seed here, just leaning into that, knowing that they have, the upper hand in that regard. But, if you looked at these 2 teams and I didn't tell you the seeds, I told you, hey, I said one's a 2 seed, one's a 7 seed. I feel like the Wyverns would be the one that would be the 2 seed in most people's minds here. And, they're not, the Minotaurs just aren't really living up to their great regular season.
Yeah, no, they're not. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't believe you that you told me that they were the seed that they were, because like it's oh my goodness, what a pass by Caliber there to the goal. Oh man,
that is an insane redirect right there on net. Just waiting out in midfield, able to put that one in, and that was an absolutely massive shot right there for them. And the Minotaurs again find themselves early on this back foot, and you have to wonder, Mallow. Mallow, how do they change this thing up? How do we see the Minotaurs come back in this game, come back in this series again early down in this one? You do not want to put yourself down 3-0 in the series and have to do what's only been done 4 times in Nemesis history.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You do not. You wanna be aggressive here. You wanna show some things you haven't actually been able to yet. And so, this is where you wanna oh my goodness. Oh, I thought that was gonna be in the goal there. You wanna make sure Wow.
Well, maybe it is going to be in the goal there as Jonesy, he just kind of falls off the backboard here and just drops and touches it and just completely fakes out Penguiner. And again, it's 2-0 Wyverns.
I don't know how you can predict that, because like when you get all of your teammates, you get all of your your enemies, in this case, is all over the place, and you can't predict how the hell they're going to do. It's going to be all over the place, and in this case they just need to do what they need to do. Oh, this is a big save there. um that's what they need to do. They just need to go into place there and go forward and uh you know score save or score assist, and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 minutes left here, we're getting into some dangerous territory as Caliber taking it by
Oh,
everyone, but Aiden able to race back in time, and they got to avoid
oh,
it going down. Here's another shot going towards the net, but not quite on. And the Minotaurs looking to avoid the fate of the Kiwis we saw in the Novice League, where they were the 2 seed and they got swept by the 7 seed Diffusion. And sometimes these 7 seeds are so deadly, and we're seeing it right here as the Wyverns holding this 2-0 lead here. But the Minotaurs got to find some way, somehow, to get on the offensive end here. But this is not going to be it, as the bump going to come through. Jonesy gets the goal. It's 3-0 Wyverns. They are running this show.
they really are. And that's the thing with the Minotaurs. They actually are a really good team. And I hate to see what they're showcasing right now, is that they really aren't showcasing any of what they've been through this season, because I've watched them through this entire uh, uh, you know back towards, oh, I thought Aiden there was gonna get that, but back towards the end of the season, and they have been really good, and I can't believe that they aren't able to showcase that, and it's unfortunate. And here we are right here with Caliber and Chicken Choker and Jonesy there, just having their way with it.
Yeah, they really are having their way. Nothing has really gone in the Minotaurs' favor really at all in this game. I mean, only one goal to speak of in this series, and it came in the last game. And, without that early goal in game 2, we could be looking at, a perfect sweep scenario against, a 2 seed. And that is just surprising a lot of people, myself included here. But we know the Minotaurs, they have that potential. But can they dive and dig into it here with a minute 30 remaining in game 3? The pressure is on their end, though, as this ball popping up, and just a mistouch there from the Minotaurs, and they just look so shaky, just not able to make the touches that we're used to seeing, as this ball's floating in the midfield, almost getting pitched on, but
Oh my
gonna be
goodness.
sent away to the side there. So we're down to a minute 15. This ball, a huge miss from 2 Minotaurs
Oh.
defenders, but Wyverns, they can't quite capitalize. But again, the time ticking away, this ball towards the net. It's just going to go in. The demo comes through. Erase the last defender. Assert yourself in this series. 4-0 Wyverns.
Oh man, I don't know what you can say at this point to try and uh give them the benefit of the doubt, but the Minotaurs, they're just not doing what you need to do.
Yeah, they're really not. Nothing is going their way, and you got to be 100% certain the timeout is coming out after this game, as they are going to be put in a near impossible feat here. 9 seasons of Nemesis, only 4 ever reverse sweeps here, and the Wyverns gonna look to avoid to make it 5. The Minotaurs gonna have to make a big change here in this one, whatever it may be, as the time ticking away here. This ball sent across. Aiden gonna send it down, but he's demoed for his efforts. Is Jonesy gonna get a touch? Here comes Smoke looking for the shot. Gotta put that one on, but it's a little bit high. A close opportunity there. That could have been the one that they needed to give him some momentum, but it wasn't meant to be, as now we're down to the final 10 seconds here of game number 3. And the Wyverns They are going to go up here and take a 3-0 series lead, looking to pull off the sweep and looking to pull off this upset, Mallow.
Yeah, they are, and right now I'm not convinced how that's gonna change. I really don't. But crazier things have happened. And so I'm not going to say that, it's going to be the Wyverns and Minotaurs yet because I've seen crazier. What about yourself?
I have definitely seen some crazy things, Mal. I've been around Nemesis since its inception, and yeah, there are some crazy things that can happen. I mean, we've seen reverse sweeps in the past. They do happen. And you know, I just don't know, Mel. I just don't know if this is the one to make it happen. I mean, the Minotaurs, they haven't shown me any sign of life. Again, 2 shots on net. Again, you're not going to win with 2 shots on net, especially with the way these Wyverns are playing. And, as we look to go into game 4, I mean, you just gotta get more offense here. The Wyverns are outpacing you at every ball. They're finding these passing plays. They're finding these demos. I think have been huge in this one. And I mean, really, the Wyverns have just done everything that they need to do, Mallow, and the Minotaurs, they just haven't looked like a 2 seed in this series. And I'm curious about you. What do you think they got to do? I know we talked about making the speed up, but I mean, what do they do? How do you battle back in a reverse sweep with you down 0-3 as the favorites here in this one?
You know what? You know what you got to do? You don't get hype, you stay hype. And you know all about staying hype, baby. And that's what we got to do. We got to stay hype and we got to go on and we got to win this game, baby. And let's go.
Hey, you know what, Val? If you were in their VC right now, I think you might have just inspired them. I think that was the firing up that they needed right there to get onto this one. And, well, maybe Mal, hopefully they're listening in the background. Hopefully they heard you, or hopefully they have someone that could hype them up like that. And, you got to go. You got to go now. You got to be locked in. You got to be ready to move here. And as the timeout concludes, it's really going to come down to this. You gotta step up big right here, right now. And
Let's go.
the seasons are on the line, Mallow, and the Minotaurs. They got to do something here. They got to make it happen here, and we're gonna have to see as we head into this game number 4 here. The Wyverns looking to pull off this 7 seed upset, looking to pull off the sweep, but do the Minotaurs have something in the bag here? They're rocking it still with the same roster here. We've seen that a couple times in previous reverse sweep attempts and even reverse sweep successes with the roster swap up there. And it may not be enough here as Rilo is going to start the scoring off, not even going to let them get the chance.
Oh, you know what? I don't think they're hype enough right now because, we're seeing this and oh man, unfortunate. That was a good shot.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Well placed there. And if you're the Wyverns there, you're doing what you got to do. You are locking it down, putting the pressure on him early. And Minotaur is straight out of that timeout there, down 0-3. I unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I have been in this situation before, down 0-3 in the playoffs. And, if you don't come out strong in this game 4, it can be all over for you. But here come the Minotaurs looking for a shot. The first real good attempt in a hot minute as this one popped up, but cleared away. But some signs of life there as they're able to get that one off to the side. But again, you got to come out strong. You got to get a quick answer. You can't let the Wyverns walk all over you. We need to see some big step up from Penguiner, in my opinion. One of the best players in Prospect this season, just not quite seen enough in this one. And Mello, I think we need to see a little bit more from him and and from Smoke as well, for sure.
No, yeah, I absolutely agree. Pigwinier and Smoke have been a very, very key part of the Minotaurs here, and we need to see them do something here now and very quickly to try and get them back into the fold because it's not looking good. But it's still very early at the same time.
Yeah, it is very early here in this one, and Yo, a shot attempt gonna come through, but
Oh,
not quite gonna find it. But yeah, it is still early. The Minotaurs, they've got some time to
hold
work
up,
with. This
hold up.
ball going towards the midfield, but it's going to be cleared away. And now we're finally seeing some adaptation. We're finally seeing some pressure here from the Minotaurs, able to keep this ball in the zone. And maybe they're finding themselves just enough here as Aiden was harassing in
Oh,
the net, but it's going to be sent down. It's just off, though. Aiden, he can get back. He's got to make a good touch, and he does. Able to relieve that pressure from their zone. But Mallow, some decent signs there, some good sustained offense at least. We hadn't seen that really at all in the last 3 games.
yeah, no, we really haven't, and it's really good to see them here because we're trying to establish some sort of offense, and I think we're finally seeing it just a little bit. Even though we see Chicken Choker here, scoring here, uh, we're still seeing a very big offense on both sides.
Yeah, we are, and that one an attempted clear away from smoke, but it was not quite meant to be as the time now the biggest factor in the Minotaur season here. Their season is on the line, 13-5 record, the number 2 seed, but here comes a ball down in the midfield, and finally they strike through. Penguiner gonna get them within 1.
Oh, they strike right back and they said, you know what? We can score if we want to. And that's exactly what they did there. And that's exactly what they need to do and continue going forward.
Yeah, definitely so here, and a big goal for their season here. You did not want to stay down 2-0 for long, and they did not. But now, gotta watch out here. Oh, Caliber on the backboard. This one can be sent in, but they still find themselves down by 1. 2 minutes remaining, looking to avoid the sweep. As this ball
Oh,
sent towards the net, smoke. Gonna send it down. Caliber
oh,
is up, throwing this one off the backboard. Try to look for the double
oh
tap.
no.
Can't quite find it, but the net is wide open. They gotta race back. The Minotaurs just able to get there in time, but they're still pressuring
Hold up.
in the midfield. A 50 comes through. Smoke versus Chicken. As this one gonna be sent down. Aiden gonna take control for a brief moment. This ball locked up. A minute and a half remaining. The Wyverns looking to keep this pressure going, looking to find a dagger here. This one dropping down, a huge opportunity. The shot from Jonesy is pure.
Oh man, the absolute pressure there by the Wyverns was apparent, and you can't do anything when the Wyverns or your opposing team is just pushing in and making sure that you try and get a goal there, and that's exactly what the Wyverns did.
Yeah, that one absolutely huge for the Wyverns. It could have just ended this series right here, right now. It could end it in a sweep for the Minotaurs now. They're going to need some semblance of a miracle as the time ticks away so quick if you're a Minotaurs fan, so slow if you're a Wyverns fan. As now a minute remaining. Penguiner trying to take it down the pitch on the dribble here. Gonna find a 50. This ball popping up high. Caliber is there. Gonna send it down. A demo comes through, but the ball now back in the Minotaur zone. They got to get some sort of pressure going, but here
Hold
comes
up,
a bad
hold
ball.
up.
Smoke
Oh,
just able to get that one away, but they got to push. They got to put the pressure on now as the seconds ticking away. This ball up in the midfield. Penguiner. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Can Aiden find this demo? Can he find the ball? No, it's going to be Rilo coming from behind there. And he's going to take out the shooter, and that may have just sealed it. And that
hold up,
may have
is
just
it
sealed
in?
it. No, Aiden on the goal line, just able to take it away. And 20 seconds left. The Minotaurs clinging desperately to these final seconds. They need 2 goals. They need a miracle. This ball sent down. Gonna be blocked out. Can they put it in with time left remaining? This ball, midfield opportunity. Oh no, it's off the crossbar. It's not gonna go. And that is gonna seal it as that one flies away. The Wyverns, the sweep here. The upset is on. The 7-seeded Wyverns are moving on to the semis.
oh man, at the same time, the way that the Wyverns have played this entire season, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. The Wyverns did fantastic this series, and they showed why they should be part of the finals here, because it's been a great series. The Wyverns here, in itself, just wow, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Congratulations to the Wyverns.
Yeah, I mean, really, just a huge performance there from the Wyverns, all things considered. I mean, they just kind of took it to them, and the Minotaurs just they just seemed off. Really, this entire series, they just weren't on point. You could see, I mean, only scoring 2 goals in 4 games, Mallow. That is not gonna you're not gonna win any series with only 2 goals, unfortunately, for the Minotaurs' sake. But a heartbreaking way to go. But they had a good season. You know, for that org, for the Pantheon org. They gave them a good run, but yeah, at the end of the season, it just wasn't meant to be. And for the Wyverns here, overcoming a little bit of adversity to make it this far. I mean, you got to be impressed with Mello, with their resolve, with the roster switches that they had to make midseason with suspended players, coming back there, and they fought, they survived, and showed everyone why they deserve to be here.
Yeah, they ignored all the talk, all of the things that happened during the season. They showed exactly why they should be there, regardless of what happened during the entire season. They are saying, "We are here for the finals, baby, and we are going there, and that's what we are doing, baby." That's what they did.
I mean, they really took it to them there. That is for sure here. And if we take a quick look at the bracket here, let's pull that bad boy up one more time. And we already talked about Origin versus Banshees, a Central Division showdown on the left side there in the semifinals. And now Wyverns moving on to take on either Warhawks or Velocity. That winner will be figured out tomorrow night on the stream here. So stay tuned for that matchup. It should be another spicy one to watch out for to see who is moving on down there. But yeah, Mallow, it was just another great performance, all things considered, there from them. And now we're gonna only have one more match left on the night here, folks. Before we do head to a little bit of an extended break, we might be able to start this matchup a little bit earlier if these teams are ready to get things moving. But we do have Grandmasters versus Bananas coming up. But first, gotta shout out the one and only Blazing Biscuit, coming back for 41 months. That is a lot of months, an insane amount of months. I don't know how many years is that. That's over 3 years, I think, right there. Yeah, that is over 3 years, like three and a half years there from Blazing Biscuit, and he's happy to see his Wyverns get a victory. So big shout out to him. Thank you, Biscuit, for the support. Thank you, everyone else, for supporting as well on the night. And yeah, with that being said, we are going to head to a break here. Well, it might be an extended break, but we will be back one more time here for the final matchup of the night, as we have Grandmasters versus Bananas. And honestly, I am really looking forward to this matchup because these two teams, they have a lot going for them there. The Bananas have been on a tear. Grandmasters have been looking great, and Mallard, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see who's gonna come out strong here in this last matchup of the night.
Oh man, we're getting to the final matchups of the season. Oh man, I cannot wait. Here we go.
Here we go, indeed, Mallow, and we're gonna be heading to a quick break here. But when we come back, Grandmasters versus Bananas. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll wrap up the night strong.